to our KPC Daily Devotional. Today we'll be reading from Paul's epistle to the Galatians from chapter 6. We'll start at verse 1. My friends, if anyone is detected in a transgression, you who have received the Spirit should restore such a one in a spirit of gentleness. Take care that you yourselves are not tempted. Bear one another's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. For if those who are nothing think they're something, well, they deceive themselves. This week, we're hearing from my first collection, According to Barclay, Reflections on Life in the Human Pack. And today's devotion is entitled, Bringing Up the Rear. Barclay, my old schnauzer, threw out his back. Something to do with making unwanted advances toward a young female retriever. Probably served him right, but it pinched the nerve and left his back legs completely paralyzed. Recovery, if he recovered at all, would be long and slow. Guys, there's probably a lesson for us all there somewhere. Just saying. Dogs have to walk. It keeps their lungs clear and their digestion working. So with ropes, rings, hooks, and rivets, I created a harness for his hips. He could walk with his front legs, and I would carry his hind legs just high enough above the sidewalk he wouldn't scrape his feet. I walked him 3 or 4 times a day. He would follow his nose, and I would tag along behind him. I call it, quite literally, bringing up the rear. I have experience with this kind of thing. Our old Doberman lab, Munch, lost much of his hindquarter coordination for the last, year and a half of his life. He could still walk, but I had to haul his 120-pound rump up the stairs every night and down every morning. His sister Maud had a spinal lesion that left her largely unable to walk for the last 4 months of her life, so I carried her out and in 5 times or more every day. I'd stand with her at 3 a.m. in the snow. When she died of other causes, she had started to move her legs again. You see, I'm used to bringing up the rear. The rear. It's the least attractive part of the dog or the human. Most of the weight's back there, where the big bones are. Add in bladder infections, other digestive issues, old dog incontinence, and it might be smelly or even messy. It can be hard, nasty work bringing up the rear. But it's what love does. You love this creature or this person enough to bear the burdens they can't bear themselves. Anyone who's ever cared for an invalid understands how compassion stretches your tolerance, just like parents get used to changing diapers. It's true for human society, for every charitable organization, and for the church. In some way, everybody is an invalid. We each have some handicap, some burden we can't carry alone, some blind eye, some embarrassing and messy trait. As we get to know someone on the deeper levels of our humanity, sooner or later, we discover the dread secret, the soft underbelly, the distasteful truth, the secret fear. We discover the rear. And they discover ours. And then the question is, well, what do we do about it? Do we throw up our hands in disappointment or anger? Do we hold our nose and run away? Well, love brings up the rear. I accept you with all your flaws and failings, with your weaknesses and handicaps. What you can't bear alone, I bear with you, especially the less presentable parts. After a few weeks, Barclay started moving his feet, then his legs. Over 3 months later, he can walk slowly, though his gait is still a little lumpy. Some days he can even wag his tail. He may never make a full recovery, but he can stand on his own 4 feet. He can walk by himself. He just needed some help and some time to heal. The Apostle Paul said, "Bear one another's burdens." Sometimes they themselves are the burden, and they will never heal without help. Love will bear them anyway. It will bring up the rear. You usually don't have to do it forever, just through the most critical phase. Pretty soon, they'll start standing on their own feet again, and you'll stand taller too. I wish you a blessed day ahead. Goodbye.